How many of you are familiar with the Institute of Noetic Sciences? Maybe a better question is, how many are not? Okay. We are the DFW IONS, or the Institute of Noetic Sciences. I am the area director for this particular group. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of community groups like ours across the country that operate under the umbrella of the Institute of Noetic Sciences in Petaluma, California. IONS was originally created as a research foundation to bridge the gap between science and spirituality, and it was founded by former astronaut Edgar Mitchell. He was the 6th person to walk on the moon in 1971, and he had the good fortune of having a window seat in the command module when he was coming back to Earth. So the command module from fingertip to fingertip is 6 foot. 2 of those is the width of the command module. The window was about 12 inches in diameter, and the command module slowly spun through space like a bullet. And so out the window he would see the moon, and then the vast star field, the Earth, this blue jewel sitting in this black space, more of the star field, and the moon, and it became this hypnotic effect where the separation between him and everything else dissolved, and he had a spiritual experience. He also recognized that we're not getting off this planet anytime soon, so we have to take care of it. And there's always been a fear that science will outpace our morality and our capacity I guess, fit our humanity. So we look at emerging conversations and paradigms inside our culture, and we are more like a book club. We sit under the umbrella of IONS, but they acknowledge us, but they don't support us in any way. Center for Spiritual Living rents the space out for us. That's what your donation was for. Thank you very much. Alan also has a mailing list there if you're interested in more of what he's doing. We meet the first Sunday of every month right here. Last month we had a conversation about near-death experiences. We had a scholar from Iran that was here talking about the comparison of Eastern experiences with Western experiences. Long story short, they're about the same. With just a few people actually have what they would call meet a deity or a religious experience. Everyone else is pretty much the same. It's a field of consciousness and an experience of bliss. Next month, we have yet to determine who the speaker is, but the 1st of January, we have Carol Cole is going to talk about the international conference of IONS that took place. So how many of you are familiar with the work of Bruce Lipton?
He's going to be here tonight.
Okay. Well, several of the people that are going to be featured here are well connected and supported by IONS. The Institute of Noetic Sciences has the largest database of bibliography of studies in meditation, the effects on the human psyche and body. Also the largest bibliography of spontaneous remission, which has not really been studied. But there's thousands of papers that have been collected under the auspices of IONS. So today we have Alan Brunton, and 4 months ago, he was here for another presentation on acutonics, which is another branch of Cymatrax. And we got to talking about his work and what he's been doing. He has a master's degree in music and is an opera singer, if I'm not mistaken. And he has a background in television production and restaurant management consulting. So he has a breadth of experience. And what was the name of the company that you worked with, archiving?
The Scripps Institute of Oceanography.
Okay. So he archived hundreds and hundreds of hours, if not thousands,
Of the mating season of the humpback whale.
So taking them from magnetic tape and putting them into digital form. So he has a very in-depth knowledge and interest in sound and the dynamics of sound and how it affects the body. And he has an emerging company that he'll talk about, I'm sure, with the technology and exploring how the frequencies affect both body and psyche. So without any more delay, I'll turn it over to Helen.
Thank you. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to try to make this just a little bit bigger, because there is some text in here that I don't want to bore with you guys, or bore you to be reading it all over when it's up here. Some of you can read it. I'll just highlight what a lot of the paragraphs are going to say. But what I want to start off with is to say how grateful I am to be here. I have seen TED Talks and videos of IONS, and I am just completely thrilled to be around the people like you who are the visionaries, the creators, the leaders, to be able to bring this out to the forefront of the non-conforming people. And I'm just really so happy to be a part of that. So anyway, let me just talk about a little bit about where Cymatrax got its name. And years ago, I guess it was about 5 years ago, I started thinking about software and how to help people spiritually. And I kept on coming across videos, which some of you may have seen. There was a video that was created back in 1967 about Cymatrax. And it was very old, and you'll actually hear some of the audio. I'm going to play something that's very, very hip right now, and not the whole video. Lots of you have already seen this video because it's been so dynamic of music on Cymatrax. But what I've done is I thought, well, how can we make music better for people, because everyone listens to music. And so what I've done is I used the study of Cymatrax, which is the observation of energy moving matter. And I guess I better get over this way just a bit more so that you can see this too. If I'm in your way, if I move around, just you know, start throwing stuff at me. And then tracks. Tracks being for tracks of music that people keep on their cell phone. And that's what we're going to be doing. We are writing the code right now for an audio software piece that is actually going to go onto people's smartphones. And it will be able to ultimately be able to filter music that they love listening to and make it better for them without changing the quality of the music. So, here it is. Cymatrax is an audio filtering system designed to propel a better living wellness environment for the end user. Everyone recognize these words? John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word. Well, what was the Word? It wasn't anything in print. It wasn't anybody speaking to somebody else. The Word of God is vibration. Frequency and vibration and amplitude, and how matter is then brought together. And this just brings everything together. I'm going like, okay, sure, why not? So, Cymatrax then is the study of wave phenomena, especially sound and the visual representations, a therapy which is being used in most hospitals right now, in which sound waves are directed at the body with the aim of promoting or demoting, and we'll talk about the federal government in the United States here later on.
And the
For
dial
health.
tone too, probably, Alan, right?
Yeah. Okay, so typically what is done is you take a stereo speaker, you lay it on its back. You put a metal plate on the top of it, and you pour fine sand on it. Then you go to your stereo, turn on the amplifier, and you have one frequency. And you modulate the frequency up or down, and it will appear and make this pattern. Some people will say sacred geometry on there. So, the apparatus employed can be simple, like I was just talking about. And the whole phrase of Cymatrax was coined by Hans Jenny. Is there someone here that was at the acoustics that did you make the presentation?
No, I didn't make a presentation, but I was here.
Okay, all right. So anyway, she referred to Hans Jenny and his work, and that was the original video that was made back in 1967, which I saw a few times, and it was so boring. However, something else has come up, And this video that was made went up a year ago in October, late October. And I've cut this down, edited it from 5.5 minutes down to 3 minutes or less. But within 6 months, it got over 5 million hits on YouTube.
The film you are about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
The matter being shown in here is the sand, oil, water, and gas. How all matter is being manipulated by frequencies. And if you notice this, that this melody is being played, it's very simple. They've tuned these frequencies so that they will move the matter. There's lots of frequencies in between these tones that will not move matter. In fact, they flatten the matter out.